I don't know why that happened. I genuinely don't. I don't know if I accidentally, like, hit a button or something. Hold on. I don't know if I hit a button or what. I didn't get any notification, but the stream just stopped. So I get the impression either I hit something accidentally or it was just a weird glitch. Either way, we're back now. So welcome back. Hello, people back on YouTube. Sorry about that. Try this.
Japan, an archipelago steeped in history, has remarkable megalithic structures from a time long lost to our history books. These monumental sites, often crafted with an astonishing level of precision and alignment with astronomical phenomena, suggest sophisticated knowledge and capabilities that could redefine conventional historical narratives. There are gigantic 800-ton granite blocks carved with extreme precision that were left in the middle of the forest, together with enormous tombs surrounded by water moats that have never been excavated. There are colossal quarries covered with machine marks and cut with laser-like precision. There are massive stone walls resembling those found in Peru and Egypt, the blocks of which couldn't be moved even today without...
Oh my god. Again, there are only so many ways to figure out how to do masonry and stack rocks effectively. That's not a coincidence. People just figured out similar ways to hew and smooth rocks to fit together.
Our modern technology. Join us in this documentary.
Yeah, sounds like an AI voice, maybe.
We will explore the prehistoric marvels of an unknown civilization that inhabited not only the land of what is now Japan, but also the surrounding...
The advertised panda dog ad even had a picture of the panda dog right below a woman dressed as a mermaid. Okay, so they are very open about the fact that this is like what their deal is that it's like fantasy stuff. Seems like it, at least. That makes sense.
Seabed, which was once the home of an advanced ancient civilization before the end of the last ice age. Mount Nokogiri, located in Chiba Prefecture, Japan, is the location of an enormous megalithic site believed to be an ancient quarry. The Japanese have aptly named this site Saw Mountain, due to the cut marks reminiscent of a saw, and they used it as a stone quarry beginning in the early Edo period, from 1603 to 1868. However, the actual age of the Mount Nokogiriyama quarry remains a mystery. There are many features of the site suggesting a much older and possibly prehistoric origin, hinting at the works of a lost advanced civilization. The theory that Mount Nokogiri could have been an ancient quarry long before the Edo period is fueled by the perfect cuts on the stone.
Again, what do you mean? Like, you can today find people who know how to recreate the cutting of, like, large stones the way that they used to back in the day. It's not an easy task. It's, like, a pain in the ass. But we know that they did it, and we know how they did it, more or less. This is not miraculous outside of the norm for human beings figuring out very complex tasks with the tools at hand. It's miraculous in that sense. A lot of the things people do are pretty incredible, but it's not supernatural.
Which are remarkably precise.
And it's not magic laser technology.
These cuts are exceptionally straight and clean, suggesting the use of advanced tools or techniques that seem out of place for the known historical period of the quarry's operation. During the Edo period in Japan, the technology and tools available for quarrying and stone cutting were quite basic, using chisels and hammers, as well as...
Yes, using chisels to, like, start a crack and then wedge them in to cause a big sheer cut in a rock is a known technique. The idea that you're acting like this sort of stuff is like, oh, well, how would you do it with that? That's literally how they did it. Oh my god!
wedges, and spikes. When comparing these traditional tools and methods to the precise and almost machine
Like, do you know what the basic machines are? And why they're important to know?
like cuts observed in some ancient stones at sites like Mount Nokogiriyama, there is a notable discrepancy in capability. We must also consider the incredible height of these walls, which reach up to approximately 30 meters, which is about 100 feet in some places. The precision in the ancient cuts suggests the use of technology that could consistently produce straight and perfectly aligned cuts.
Again, if you're good with the wedge technique, you can do this.
No matter the height, which is difficult to achieve with the aforementioned traditional tools.
I think they could have probably figured out some kind of block and tackle thing where they, like, get themselves up. I don't know.
Curiously, the precise stone cuts at Mount Nokogiriyama bear a striking resemblance to those found at other ancient sites across the globe.
All you're demonstrating is that people around the world had the capabilities you're saying are impossible, which isn't a good argument, actually.
Where similar meticulous craftsmanship points to sophisticated stoneworking skills. For instance, Pumapunku in Bolivia is an ancient site famed for its incredibly precise stonework. The cuts and drill holes in these stones are so fine and exact that they have led some to speculate about the possibility of advanced prehistoric stone-cutting technologies.
I'm just so frustrated with people whose arguments come down to, but I couldn't do that. Correct, nor could I, but I also recognize the things people are capable of, and the incredible dedication people have to certain crafts and tasks, and understand that they're able to do so to things I don't understand. Jeesh.
As she is, the robot wars are coming. Technology is evolving at light speed overseas as our countries implode thanks to open borders and hyperinflation. It's looking.
You know what hyperinflation is?
Like what
We are not in a period of hyperinflation.
world
Benikagami says it's so hard to get people to accept their little fantasies don't stand up to reality. No kidding.
season 1 in China right now, and it's looking like the third world in America. But
What?
you need to pay attention because some serious robot wars are coming. AI versus AI, super AI versus
This is the guy that I think isn't a conspiracy theorist himself, but is just a grifter, because he has a book he tries to sell, and, like, solutions against EMF radiation. Like, bullshit.
super AI. This is the future, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
he basically makes scare videos to further push, like, conspiracy theorists and people who are paranoid because of mental illness further into isolation and paranoia to sell them his crap. He's a bad guy.
And it's about to spiral.
What you thought when he said Robo Wars? Let's see, what is this a link to?
Beloved, this is the new Atlas robot from General Dynamics. When they arm this killing machine with M4s and flamethrowers, and they send these into our neighborhoods, here's how we're going to defeat them. You're going to drop big hunks of rope on it. Climbing rope, work rope, extension cords. If you live out in the country, get some fence pliers. Fence pliers, $20. You can cut through any fence and take any section of wire from anything, and you can wad that up and put that in its path. I don't care how clever it is, there's nothing that's going to fight through a big old mess and hank of rope and wire. Act accordingly.
that's certainly a strategy. That's funny.
Out of control. And most people are just totally unprepared for what's coming as they're trying to survive the Hunger Games. And that's literally the point. They don't want you surviving. What does this video look like? It looks like that
It looks like a promo video.
CERN statue of destruction. And that's exactly what we're going to get with all of this technology. Mass destruction in ways that we can't even imagine. It's going to start looking like Terminator, The Matrix, Blade Runner before we know it.
The Matrix on the bingo card. Also, get newer references. You can throw in Ex Machina in there.
Predictive
Hell, even Blade Runner 2049.
programming, to say the least. But this latest footage from this Chinese lab,
Wrangle Starstream when? I don't even know what that's a reference to. That's how out of touch I am.
is just beyond imagination. They've spared no
Blade Runner has androids, not robots. People like this don't... This is the kind of person that would look at data and be like, that's a robot with no humanity. Like, there are legitimately people whose philosophical concept is, if humans built it, it does not have a soul and does not have rights, even if it was literally a replicant, like Blade Runner 2049 style, that is like flesh and blood. If they are grown or not created naturally, they don't consider them humans. So, yes, while I would recognize the fictional difference between a robot and an android, this guy does not recognize a difference.
expense. And we're going to get into some of the latest footage from that lab and many other labs. Of course, Elon Musk is rolling out his future Terminators. Optimus Prime, this is the first generation.
Yeah, we can go over the bingo in a little bit.
But the next generation will be much faster, smarter, stronger. Just like ChatGPT, it evolves with time, and it's only a matter of time before they start strapping weapons to these things. At first, they're being sold to us like home assistants, office assistants, friendly assistants. They're here to help you, like the government. All right? They're going to be using all of this technology to help us, not to lock us down, not to control us and to spy on us, or worse. But what we're going to discover is that these machines will be efficient at killing people in ways never seen before. Ladies and gentlemen. And this is just part of...
Why is he showing a piece of, like, forestry equipment? Like, that thing's dope as fuck in terms of engineering, how quick it got that tree down and debranched it. Holy fuck. That was cool.
What we're up against. Again, we're hoping for medbeds, we're hoping for Star Trek, but what we're going to get is Star Wars, an empire that's going
So a Bacta tank? That's not bad.
to enslave not only the world, but literally the universe, if we let it escape orbit. Once these things become self-aware and start reproducing themselves.
I could see robots being used in specific combat situations, but I don't think it would be a situation where there's, like, no controller nearby. I imagine it would be a situation where you were like, let's say you're on the ground and it's some sort of urban warfare, and you have, like, one of those dog robots or whatever, and you know there's people in that building that are trying to kill you because you're trying to kill them because it's war or whatever. I could imagine a situation where they're right there and they send in a robot thing first to try and get an initial wave in of, like, doing stuff. But, like, no, I don't think they'll be autonomous out there. I think they'd be used more like terrestrial drones than anything else, but with, like, people nearby.
It's only a matter of time before...
Either way, pretty horrifying still, but I don't think they'll be used for that domestically. At least not anytime soon.
the Earth gets assimilated. The moon gets assimilated.
Think of the price tag and there's cheaper ways to do what you describe. I agree.
Mars
30 years it'll be cheaper, but yeah.
gets assimilated.
People Lord says, this is Wrangle Star. You said you were going to cover him at some point. Ah, sorry, I forgot the name. It says 404 not found. That person's still around?
Probably thinking there is no Mars when you look at it through the telescope.
The NYPD has them already. Yeah, but that thing's not going to get used for anything. That's going to get vandalized and kicked over immediately.
Now check out this machine here. Not only is it doing mock repairs on future cyborgs, but this will be exactly the type of technology that will be used to assimilate people with the brain chip. The Elon brain chip machine looks very similar. Can't imagine what the Chinese version looks like. Well, it's something like this. People will be going to the mall, and 15 minutes later, there'll be a cyborg. Instead of ear piercings, they're going to get the mark of the beast, the brain chip.
The first chip put in a human already has problems. Surprise, surprise! Elon Musk made a thing that sucks, or funded the making of a thing that sucks and doesn't work. Shocking.
Their hand in their forehead, it's coming true.
Mark of the beast on the bingo card.
Ladies and gentlemen, to say the least, it's the pages of the Bible playing out before our very eyes.
Let's see, Peep Lord. Oh yeah, this person. I need to find videos.
And we're going to get exactly what we deserve.
But yeah, I plan on covering.
If we do nothing. But the Chinese labs look to be way ahead of...
Holy fuck. The China, like, fear-mongering is just, like, insane.
Of the competition. And there are many other companies that are producing robots. And of course, they're pretty much state-sponsored, unlimited budgets. And it won't be long before they're replacing people. Not just at work, but literally the politicians on TV. How long will it be before the president gets hot swapped by a robot? They've been talking about this for decades, organic robotoids. We've done quite a few videos of the
Toreador says that looks like a Da Vinci surgical robot. They are again still human controlled. There's no AI or computer or anything, just a surgeon that makes less mistakes due to fatigue and dropped tools.
this genre. Talking about the old tech,
I think I've heard them talk about Gattaca. I've never heard them talk about Ghost in the Shell or Dark City.
think that all this new tech is brand new, but it's really old tech. Back in the 60s, they had drones, they had the internet. They had all sorts of things that we have today that we think is new. You can't imagine where the real new technology is. Brain chips, smart dust, neural networks, super AI. The stuff that we get to play with is consumer grade class B technology. It has nothing to do with what's really out there. Now, perhaps the Chinese assimilation will be better than the American assimilation. That's something to hope for, ladies and gentlemen. It's starting to look better over there than it is over here. But the automation of the workforce is going to wipe out 80% of the jobs in the next 10 years, according to reports. If you think it's bad now, if you think the inflation is bad now, if you think it's tough paying your more...
A bunch of people losing their jobs wouldn't cause inflation. If anything, the lack of consumer, like, money would lead to potentially deflation as people lowered their prices to try and get people to buy them. You know what I mean? Because there'd be a bunch of automation, so the labor cost would go down to virtually nothing.
Mortgage or...
Like, I'm not saying I even think this is going to happen the way they're saying. I'm just saying in the hypothetical scenario they've brought up, I don't understand why he thinks inflation would be worse. He doesn't actually think it. He's just trying to exacerbate concerns and anxieties his audience has today. So the word inflation is scary because inflation has been hurting a lot of people, but that doesn't make sense.
For your rent now. But you have 2 or 3 jobs. Just wait until all of these robots take these jobs from you. Then where will you be? In ghettos, in social housing, 15-minute districts.
Is born in the ghetto. In the ghetto.
But
no, people, don't you understand?
There's hope. With the brain chip, you'll be able to compete with the robots of tomorrow. So don't wait. Get your brain chip today. Don't just sit in the ghetto starving. Get your brain chip. It's going to be as easy as that. plenty of new companies are now mass producing robots, worker robots. And this is going to be part of the push, the pressure that basically forces the assimilation of humanity. Right now, people are like, no way, I'm not getting no brain chip. But when you can't get a job without a brain chip, you'll be getting the brain chip. Now, this video here in particular, and this is the only video in this series that is basically an AI simulation of what's coming.
Yeah, that's CG. I was gonna say, that's literally, like, not a real thing. That's an
Robot
image.
work.
That's a special effect made in a computer.
Right? At first, it's going to be like, oh, they're awesome. Look at what they can do. Look how fast they move. Look how fast they think. They work at the speed of light, basically. They think at the speed of light. They're making buildings in new cities in days, weeks, months, instead of years and decades. What a revolution. It's basically cheese in the mousetrap. And so the next generation robots will be like this. It's only a matter of time. And faster. And smarter. You can't even imagine civilizations working at the speed of light, thinking at the speed of light. Basically all cybernetic. Organic humans are gone. That's the future. And these things will be living forever. The fountain of youth. But there's something standing in the way. And that is organic humans that don't want to get assimilated. These purebloods.
Language taken from anti-vaxxers. And racists.
And we've been talking about this. This is part of the transhuman agenda. All of
I'm part of the transhuman agenda.
these purebloods will want to resist. They're going to want to blow things up. They're going to want to stop
Hello, FBI, is this a threat on the bingo card?
progress. And from their perspective, there's no stopping progress. And so these vaccines and the like are basically a dry run for what's coming. They're already trying to figure out who's not going to get the brain chip. If you didn't get the vaccine, you're not getting the brain chip. You can be honest with yourself. And they know that. And that means every pureblood is already on the
You're not a pureblood. You're literally just someone who didn't get vaccinated. You're a fool.
transhumanist list. And this is why we keep talking about it. Because if you've been experiencing the 5G symptoms, recurring
5G on the bingo card.
headaches, heart palpitations, chronic fatigue, ringing in the ears, you might think it's natural causes, but you're being targeted. If you're experiencing pain not associated with an injury,
Maybe you're old.
recurring back problems, you're being targeted.
Back problems. Are you just over 30? Are you just over 40? Back problems. You're a human being. Human beings are fucking bipedal. You're gonna get back problems if you live long enough.
The system that's out there right now, they've already weaponized the cell towers, the smart tech, everything. They're 10 steps ahead of everybody. That's why it's important that we talk about it. The technology that's out there right now is already targeting purebloods and conservatives. It's following them wherever they go, like cell phone coverage, beaming them with this 5G beamforming technology.
5G beam forming.
Mimicking the stages of diseases.
I'm sorry, is the sperm entering the 5G? It looks like nuclear sperm is entering the 5G tower.
And other health-related issues. To bring down the opposition in a
Headaches, heart palpitations, back problems are all extremely common things people experience. He's framing it specifically so anything can be evidence, like astrology. Oh yeah, this guy's a scumbag. This guy absolutely says this stuff specifically to inflame paranoid people in order to sell them things. He is scum.
preemptive attack for a war they know is coming. If you've been experiencing the 5G symptoms, if you've been feeling off since the rollout of 5G,
Another sperm has hit the 5G tower.
the COVID pandemic, It's not natural causes, for the most part. It's radiation exposure.
What? Literally demonstrate a single thing you've said.
Targeted radiation exposure. This has been confirmed by government insiders, weapons
Government insiders, you know, the ones.
experts, victims, even the
Scamming or shilling on bingo. He hasn't done it yet, but he will.
television.
So let's say yes.
They're trying to call it Havana syndrome. They're trying to tell you it's the Russians. No, it's the AI. And it's already self-aware. And it's already at war like Skynet. Going back in time, taking out the lieutenants and the
Oh, he's talking about time travel now.
commanders and the infantry.
Is that an orb from Labyrinth? No, it's just an orb. It's just an orb. It's like a crystal ball.
Before the war gets started.
Jareth's balls, were contact juggling balls.
That's why we strongly recommend you check out this book, Transhuman Genocide. You can find it on Amazon.
There we go. Now it's time for him to shill his book.
Kindle version, hard copy versions. It talks about not only the artificial intelligence, the directed energy weapons that are being used.
We did have overt anti-Semitism, yes. Oh, juggle command. I can do that.
But also what you can do to survive now and in the future. How to evade, how
Juggle
to
and
shield, how to
hydrate.
protect yourself. It's got the recipes, the formulas, everything you need to build military-grade shielding for military-grade weapons. This system has been rolled out like a social credit score system. It's already targeting people. And everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know that this is happening and what's coming. It's not your imagination. The Pentagon is telling us this. Systems will become totally autonomous. Autonomous weapon systems that can freely kill people. It's already here. This, of course, is a visualization of the 5G beamforming we've done.
Conservative conspiracy keyword spam. It wouldn't surprise me if he uses ChatGPT or something to write these. They're so on the nose and so packed with buzzwords from conspiracy theorists, it feels like he has ChatGPT write these. I'm not saying he definitely is, I just wouldn't be surprised if he was.
On reports from the telecom industry where they're actually showing you the invisible beams with sensors and meters and the like, following people. This is real. All of the
5G is real, it's just not a scary thing. Stop scamming people, you piece of shit.
infrastructure has been embedded with this technology. The street lights, the smart meters, the cell phones, the new cars, the new planes, automated shooting at targets on the ground with energy weapons. It's already here. It's already happening.
You remember when this happened with 4G and 3G? I remember too. It'll happen with 6 and 7 and 8th G as well. This happened when radio waves, like when radio became a more widespread thing, when wired homes for electricity became a thing, broadcast television, basically any time there's some sort of like mass communication through the airwaves, someone freaks out about it. Yes, that happened with Wi-Fi as well. And Bluetooth.
And, this is part of the reason why the borders are wide open. They want us
They're not.
totally in the minority so that we can't stop what's coming. And so this is kind of like the Minority Report.
That's not even what that means. That's not even what that movie is about. You just wanted to use the word minority. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Check this out. Look what's coming. But people are going to need to start preparing themselves for this Skynet war that's coming. And the first line of defense is basically shielding. There's a reason why they took lead out of the paint. You can't buy military-grade EMF shielding out there. even though this is totally next generation warfare, it's in the NASA war documents and the like. They don't want you defending yourself. This book shows you how to find products.
Mr. Blast says, interesting fact, as a crystal ball cools, the inside still moves because of the spinning of the Earth. If you look very close, you can see the swirl. Sorry, flat earthers, very high-end crystal balls are spun as they cool to keep the internal swirl from happening. That's interesting. Yeah, I can see the swirl in this.
Online that can be repurposed for military-grade shielding when put together properly. Check out that book, Transhuman Genocide. You'll be glad you did. Free sample on the Amazon. 30 days.
On the Amazon.
To send it back if you're not completely satisfied. To say the least.
Not from the spin of the Earth. Yeah, that sounded a little iffy.
But they don't want you defending
swirl,
yourself
cool.
from these weapons. They don't want you defending yourself from this kill grid. And so it's really up to you to start making a safe room, a bunker, EMF shielding, and eventually people are going to have to make their own drones. People are going to have to make their own energy weapons, anti-drone weapons, anti-Terminator weapons. It's pretty much as easy as getting a signals generator, an amplifier, a Yagi antenna, and basically, you know, putting it on a parabolic reflector dish. And essentially, you know, mounting it on a turret, and, you know, there you go. You've got your own devastating energy weapon, and you basically have to use the opposite phase of direct current. Well, not direct current, alternating currents. If they're using AC but DC, you'll basically have to use a different scheme. All of that is being researched right now by the Human Resistance. How to safely deactivate Terminators at a distance. And obviously there's a lot of legal hurdles to go over. But this is going to be the next frontier when it comes to what's happening. Because these things will be mounted with energy weapons. They'll be able to hit you miles away with a microwave pulse rifle on their shoulder, about the size of a cell phone, basically. They can just walk around and just give people heart attacks. But this idea is already out there. It's the new heart attack gun. These weapons not only cause heart attacks and strokes, but cancers. They can cause...
Jesus Christ, he's really going for a full house today, isn't he? Alright, let's check the bingo card real quick, and then we're gonna call it a night. We've been going for a little over 3 hours now. Let's see. Misunderstands the scientific method. Past lives, reincarnation. "5G, of course. The Matrix. Weather control. Word salad. Scientism. Atlantis. Correlation isn't causation. Titanic. Microchip tracking implants. Shilling scamming. Project Bluebeam. Believe sci-fi technology actually exists. Vibes-based conspiracy. Incorrectly believes evidence is self-evident. Gematria. Furious symbology. Ancient wisdom. Anyone? Bueller. I feel like we had a lot. But if not, I'll just gift randomly, that's fine. Anyone? Give 30 more seconds. Oh! Rainy! Let me see your bingo card. And we will check it and determine. Did we have moves goalpost? Not that I'm aware. Can you post a link, Rainy, to your bingo card? And then I will check it. And pull out my thing that has the names on it, too. Do. There it is. Need a pen. Thank you, Rainy, for the link. Let me take a look real quick. Uses AI, Atlantis, Gematria, tracking microchip implants, and past lives! You did it. Congrats, Rainy! You are a bingo winner. So let me know when you want that bingo for yourself or anyone else. Cool beans. So yeah, we're done for today. We'll be back tomorrow. We might be doing Sovsits, might be VHS, not sure. Let's see who we're gonna do a raid on Twitch. Cirrus. We'll raid Cirrus. Alright, have a good night, everyone. Viewers, both mine and Morance's. I am excited for the Morance fans to come around when the price drops again. I'm sure they'll be just as magnanimous, but in the other direction. Have a good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. And don't forget to join the Discord to vote for tomorrow's costume.